Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I use my Garmin Approach S70 watch along with my Garmin CT10 sensors, which are screwed into the end of every club in my bag, to assess and evaluate my round. This is the first of several videos, so hope you enjoy. Thanks. So here we are inside the Garmin Connect website. The way that you get to your scorecards is down the left hand side here. You've got a menu for golf and you just click on scorecards. So the scorecard we're going to look at today is the 6th of January, where I had an 81, which is 10 over. So we click on the round. So if we first look down the bottom here, it gives me my total score, which I said was 81, which is 10 over the par. I had 1 birdie, 9 pars, 5 bogeys, and this shows you whether you had double bogey or more. Those were just double bogeys. Shows me my longest drive, which was 210 meters. It showed me that I hit 46% of fairways, so 6 out of 13. I had 8 out of 18 greens in regulation, 44%, and I had 1.9 putts per hole, which I believe, if I look over here, under putts was 34 putts. If we look at a quick overview of each hole, you'll see that it puts either a circle or a square or a double square around each score. So this indicates that I had a birdie. This indicates, because it's a double square, I had a double bogey, 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 bogey. If there's no square or circle, it's a par. So par, 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 bogey. Then I had, unfortunately, another double bogey. I had a par, 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 bogey, par, par, double bogey, and I finished with a par. What's also really useful here is it's tracking the direction of your shots. So off the tee, on the first hole, went a little bit left, same with the second hole. Didn't record it for the third hole for some reason, bit left, didn't record that one. Then straight, bit right, didn't record that one. So it doesn't record it every time, but it's pretty accurate otherwise. And then you can see quickly your greens and regulations, whether it hit, it's a tick, if it didn't, it's an X, and then putts on each of the holes that you played, which is useful to know as well. So what we'll do quickly now is go through each hole one by one. So starting with the first, which is a par 5. Okay, I had a drive which was pretty good, 210 meters. Then I had an 8 iron onto the green and 2 putts. Moving to the second hole, which was a par 4. I had a 4 iron off the tee, unfortunately hit into the trees. Had to pitch out with a pitching wedge. I hit another pitching wedge, which was just short of the green and right, chip on, and 2 putts. On the third hole, par 3, kind of skied a 9 iron to the right, chipped on, and 2 putts for a bogey 4. The fourth is a par 5. I had a pretty good drive, 191 meters, and then unfortunately I was a bit blocked out with a tree, so I had to go to the right, but too far right, so I had to chip that one out. Then a gap wedge onto the green, and then I had 2 putts. Onto the fifth hole, which is a par 3, I had a pitching wedge shot, which was 107 meters, just to the left side of the green, and then I had must have 3 putted there because I had a score of 4. Moving on to the sixth hole, which is a par 4, I had a drive which is 162 meters. I kind of skied that one, but it's a short par 4. Then I had a sand wedge, 69 meters, onto the green for 2 putts. Moving on to the seventh, which is a par 4, I had a really good drive of 207 meters, which left me with a pitching wedge, 108 meters, and then 2 putts. Moving on to the eighth hole, another par 4, I had a drive which was really bad. It hit a tree, I only went 139 meters. I had to then hit a 4 iron back out into the fairway. I had a really good gap wedge onto the green, and I had a 1 putt, so I actually managed to save par. And on the ninth, which is actually a really long par 3 at Clark's Beach, I hit a 4 iron to 154 meters, unfortunately into a bunker. I then had an average shot out of the bunker, and then 2 putts. Moving on to the 10th hole, this is again a long par 4. I had an okay drive, 188 meters. I then tried to hit a 3 hybrid onto the green, which didn't really work. Got to about 49 meters. Then I hit a sand wedge, and unfortunately I had 3 putts. The 11th is a short par 4, and I just hit a 4 iron up the fairway, 155 meters, then I had a 9 iron, and then easy 2 putts for a par. The 12th is a lovely par 3 at Clark's Beach. I had an 8 iron, not very far from the hole at all, and missed the birdie putt unfortunately, so 2 putts for a par. Then moving on to the 13th, which is another long par 4, but luckily I had a really good drive of 210 meters, which is kind of my outer limit for me. And then I had a good solid 8 iron, and then 2 putts for a 4. The 14th at Clark's Beach is probably the longest par 4 that we have. It should be a par 5. I had a really good drive. Then I kind of hooked a 3-wood onto the 18th fairway, sandwich onto the green, and 2 putts for a 5, so I consider that a par at Clark's Beach. And then the 15th is a short par 4, so I took a 4 iron, 190 meters, and then I just needed a gap wedge into the green and then 2 putts, so easy par 4. 16, one of the longest par 3s. I actually took a driver on this par 3 because of a bit of wind. 179 meters, just to the right of the green, a good chip close to about 10 feet, and then I hold the putt for a par, which is great. Moving on to the 17th, which is a fairly easy par 5. Unfortunately, I had a drive to the right, and then I had a good recovery shot out back onto the fairway, and then I just needed to hit a 5 iron onto the green. I fluffed it into this hazard here, this water, so I had to take a drop and then a gap wedge onto the green and 2 putts. I ended up double bogeying with a 7 on that hole, which was really annoying. And then on the 18th, I hit a pretty good drive, 191 meters, and then a 6 iron sort of layup, and then another 6 iron because it was still quite far to go, onto the green for 2 putts. And I had a par, so that's my round at Clark's Beach for today. It was 10 over par, so not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Still trying to get it into single figures, but yep, we'll see how we go. Thanks. As well as viewing your scorecards through the Garmin website, you can actually look at your stats. So this is just looking at my performance stats, and what it does is it compares your stats for drives, approach shots, chips and putts against people of a similar handicap to see how you're doing and whether your performance on each of those metrics is either staying the same, improving or getting worse. So kind of gives you an indication of where you need to practice. And again, this is for recoveries, what's the shot averages out of bunkers, penalty shots, etc. Also, if we look on the left here, you've got course stats, so you can actually look how you perform on each of the courses that you play. So I mainly play Clark's Beach, so I played 38 rounds there. Last round was today, and it's giving me my average score, which is 84, my average greens in regulation, which is 37%, and my average putts per hole, which is 1.9. It shows me generally where I hit my drives, so yeah, I'm more of a left type hitter than to the right, and then it shows my longest drive that I've had since been playing there, which is 274 meters. So there we have it, a quick overview of my round today. I normally play every Saturday, so I'm planning on doing this every Saturday. And I forgot to say at the start, my handicap at the moment is 10.3. My goal is to get down to single figures, so although my course handicap is around 9, I actually want to say that I'm a single figure handicap player, so that means I need to get down to 9.4 in my mind. So that's my goal. So 10.3 at the moment, trying to get down to 9.4. Wish me luck. Thanks.